Okay, all right, we got power. Yes, I think we've got power. We've got power. Welcome everybody to your your all yoga. Yes, all yoga. Your all levels yoga class with Mercy. I'm gonna bring this down a little bit. I'm gonna cinematographer this experience for you. Welcome to my living room. If you're joining me for the first time, I have been live streaming. Just relax here. I've been live streaming yoga classes and some cardio classes and some other conditioning type of classes for you guys during the quarantine because I know a lot of folks are out of work. So these are completely free for you guys. I'm also out of work. So I get that. I totally get that. These are completely free. Please invite your friends. If you've had in-person class with me before, this will feel very familiar to you. If it's your first time joining me, welcome. You are most delightfully welcome to do or not do at any time any of the things that I'm offering you, right? So what that means is in no way, shape, or form do I expect you to do everything, not even designed for that. Because this is literally all levels, I'm gonna be giving you a lot of different options. So occasionally people say, oh, well, I watched, but you know, you offered this thing and it was so crazy and I couldn't do it, so I stopped. I'm like, I wasn't offering that for you. I'm offering it for the people who've been doing yoga for literally 30 years, right? Or who have a really solid handstand practice and they need some sort of variation on handstand, right? You don't have to do handstand at all if you don't want. Let this be a choose your own adventure for you, right? You're gonna do what you wanna do, rest when you wanna rest, never, never have a hesitation to take child's pose at any time, please. I've had, and I tell this example in class all the time, I used to have a student for like a year, this woman would come to my in-person class and would just get in child's pose and stay there for 75 minutes. And I was like, hooray for you. If that's what your body needs today, let that happen, okay? If this is your first time taking yoga, completely fine. You're probably gonna be doing a lot of watching, right? This will be unlike anything you've ever done before. And if you haven't figured this out already, I give a lot of specifics. The reason for that is yoga is not a discipline of approximation, right? It's a discipline of great specificity. So the incredible physical healing that can come to us, of which I'm living proof, comes through doing things in a very meticulous way. If you can't do it the way I'm asking, just come out of the pose. Don't be like, oh, well, if I lift my hip, I can do it. Or if I, put my neck this way or something, that's when we injure ourselves. And we definitely don't want to do that. One more word, if you're not new to yoga, but are new to me, if I offer you something in a way that's different than you've done before, or different than another teacher has had you do before, just give it a try, okay? Assume that I have, actually this month, I will have been teaching yoga for 17 years. What? So please assume that I'm asking you to do things in a certain way for a particular reason, not just because I had some sort of wild hair and decided to try something new, right? There's a reason I'm offering it to you. Give it a try. If you don't like it, don't have to do it next time, but evaluate, right? Experiment and evaluate. And that's it. That's all I got for you. So glad you guys are here. I'm gonna move the camera so we can come, actually no, let's stay here first. Let's stay here for a second, then I'm gonna move it. I'm trying new angles in our home studio, as it were. And if you haven't already noticed, there's cats, right? Last week's class, they were going absolutely nuts, especially during Savasana. So I look at that as an opportunity for us to be able to practice our ability to screen things out, right? So you might have that opportunity today, or opportunity for some comedic entertainment. So let's all just start in a comfortable seated position. You can fold your knees underneath you. You can take half or full lotus, whatever feels good for you. And then we're just gonna bring the palms to the knees, and I'd like you to start with your palms face down. Palms down on the knees, wherever the knees happen to be. And then we're just gonna shut our eyes gently. Woo! You are here. You are having your yoga. Good choice. And then we're just going to start to ground down through the tailbone and lift up through the crown of the head. And with the eyes shut, we're just starting to breathe through the nose exclusively, inhales and exhales through the nose. That's your heating breath. Later on, if you need your cooling breath, that'll be an exhale through the mouth. But right now, we're inhaling and exhale through the nose. And if you have an Ujjayi pranayama practice, you can begin that at any time. That's just a slight constriction at the back of the throat. Makes a little bit of sound of both the inhale and the exhale. And now we're bringing the attention to the space between the eyebrows. We're relaxing that space. And then we're relaxing the tongue and the jaw. And then maybe imagining invisible hands pressing the shoulders down and away from the ears. Right? And then maybe we're going to curl the tailbone under slightly. You can also float the front rib cage back slightly. You can also float the jaw back slightly, right? So bringing the spine into alignment as much as possible. And then when you're ready, keeping the eyes shut if possible, we're going to bring palms to heart center. Take the tips of the thumbs into the heart, let the other fingers spread out from there. We're going to take a second to set a personal intention for our class time today. It can be anything that comes to mind immediately, anything that you'd like to show up in your life or in your practice to a greater degree. And as most of you know who've ever done class for me, either in person or electronically, I have a theme in my classes each week. So if you'd like to work with the theme I've selected, this week the theme is relax. Relax. Right? I picked that theme because I see a lot of people talking about starting to go back to work or changing back to some of their previous activities and are having a lot of anxiety around it, right? So that might be you or it might not be you. Maybe you're just having a lot of anxiety about being out of work or any number of things that could present themselves to us and weigh heavily on us during this time. So I'd like you to just take a breath in this moment, fill your lungs. And on the exhale, I just invite you to say the word relax. If you don't feel like doing that, that's fine. But if you want to with me, just say relax. And just feel how that resonates in your body. Because believe it or not, even when we are doing strong activities, even when we're doing things that challenge us, if we can do them from a point of relaxation rather than tension, everything turns out better. So if that theme resonates with you, wonderful. If you've got something else that you'd like to dedicate your practice to that feels a little more suited to you personally, great. Whenever you've settled on that theme, just go ahead and bow your chin to your chest to seal your intention. Take the tips of the thumbs to the chin, the tips of the index fingers to the forehead. Inhale deeply, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, gently open the eyes and bring your palms straight forward onto the mat. You can just rock right over your legs to get to hands and knees or swing them around, whatever works for you. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. I'm going to try out this new angle and see how it works. Let's see. This might be good and it might not be good. Let's give it a try. Okay, so if I'm back here, you guys can almost see my head. Up here, not so much. Okay, let's back that up. It's all a glorious experiment, guys. Let's see here. That might work. Let's get a little arm in the couch there. Okay, this is good. This is pretty good. Pretty good. I'll just squat down and you can see that. Okay, we're good. Let's go ahead and come down to the mat. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips if you're not already there. And you guys can leave me input after class too. Be like, oh, I like the front angle better, or this is good, or whatever. I am here to serve. Take your middle fingers forward, right? Now spin your inner elbows forward. So notice my elbows are not out, they're back, and then I straighten and push away from the floor. Then I'm gonna look down to my legs, my knees should be directly under my hips, and I should be able to see my feet. So if I look down and I see them on the inside, I'm gonna take them out a little bit, then I'm gonna spin my pinky toenails down to the floor, okay? And then on my next inhale, I'm gonna drop my belly to the floor, look up and arch. And exhale, round, tuck your tailbone under chin to the chest. Oh, you can move around a little bit there, feels good. And then inhale, drop the belly, look up and arch. This is your cow pose. And exhale, go ahead and round, tuck the tailbone under. That's your cat pose. And one more time, inhale, look up and arch. And exhale, round. Good. And next, inhale, take the crown of the head forward. On your exhale, tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. So in this first down dog, we want to take a distance between the hands and the feet that are reasonable enough that the heels can almost touch the floor, but not quite touch the floor. So if your heels are already on the floor, step your feet back a little bit. If they're super high off the floor, step your hands and feet together a bit. And then we're just going to check back in, make sure our middle finger's pointing forward, and then spin your inner elbows forward a lot. You can even bend your elbows. They should point down towards the floor, not to the sides. No? Yes, right? Straighten. And then drop your head and look back to your feet. If you can see your heels on the inside or the outside, spin them so they're hidden. And it might feel a little bit pigeon-toed here, and that'll be correct. Then on your next inhale, go ahead and lift the heels high off the floor. On your exhale, bend your left knee, release your right heel back down to the floor. Press your chest back as much as you can. Really push the front of the mat away. And inhale, 2 straight legs. And exhale, bend your right knee, release your left heel down, push the chest back. And then again, inhale, 2 straight legs, heels are high. On your exhale, bend both your knees, push your chest back, but keep lifting your heels and lifting your tailbone. So don't drop your butt down, lift it up, push it back. Some of you guys will touch your rib cage to your thighs here. Take a nice deep inhale. And then on the exhale, keep your torso where it is. Slowly straighten your legs, release your heels back down. Now we're going to inhale and float forward to plank. But before we do that, I just want to say, don't move your hands, don't move your feet. So if you're tempted to walk your hands forward or your feet back, don't do that. Glue them to the mat. Inhale, float forward. Now, if you find that your butt's poking up a little bit, don't worry about it. Just keep floating forward, floating forward, floating forward. And then look back towards your toes and pull your navel up, right? So pulling the stomach muscles up, we're not dropping down at all, we're lifting slightly. Keep spinning those inner elbows forward and keep working the crown of the head further, further, further forward and pulling the abdominal muscles in. Take one more deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, your elbows are going to touch your rib cage. So yes, no, yes, right? Lower all the way down, chest and thighs meet the floor at the same time. Untuck your toes, spin your pinky toenails to the floor. Bring your hands out in front of you. Palms on the floor, fingertips pressed down, lift the heels of the hands. Press and roll the shoulders away from the floor, and then maybe you'll start walking the fingertips back a little bit. Maybe not, right? This might or might not feel good to you, but you're going to press, press, press gently here, and just keep walking a little bit. Really good. Maybe a little more, maybe not. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, you're going to pull the palms across the floor next to your rib cage. Notice they're not up here by my shoulders, no. Yes, back here, okay? Elbows in, pat the floor a couple times, and then try to drag yourself forward like a snake. You're on a mat, you won't move. If you're on a slippery floor, you might. But this is your best cobra. You can always substitute cobra for up dog. So what we don't want to do is push and jam into our low back. We want the shoulders back and the heart moving forward. Take a nice deep inhale here. On your exhale, look down, tuck your toes. First time, everybody, straight flat spine, push up to your knees. So no rolling up, straight flat spine. Good. Tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. Nicely done. On your next inhale, float forward to plank position, top of a push-up. On your exhale, melt your left knee down to the floor. It's going to be right underneath your hip. Can you guys do that without my arm? Good. And then spin to the sole of your right foot. Now take your right hand up to your right hip. Spin your left inner elbow forward. Tuck your tailbone under. Hips move that away, right? And now look up to the ceiling. On your next inhale, float the right arm up to the sky. And on your exhale, palm faces the front of the room. Reach for the front of the room. But lift your ear up to your arm, not the other way around. So don't drop and collapse here. Get long like you're trying to touch the wall there. Then keep spinning open towards the sky a little bit more. Option here, not mandatory, option, flex your right foot so much that that foot floats up off the floor. Toes are pointing straight towards the wall here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, maybe you bend that knee. Some of you guys will reach back and catch the outside of the ankle here. Pull your heel towards your hip and then push it away. These are all just options. Slow inhale, straighten the leg, straighten the arm. Exhale, release it on back down to plank position, top of a push-up. Inhale, crown of the head as far forward as you can go. Shoulders to the fingertips. Then elbows touch the rib cage as we lower all the way down to the floor. Untuck your toes. Beautiful. We are going to take the hands out in front again. But this time, the palms are going to face each other as if you're going to clap hands, but they're shoulder distance apart. Roll your shoulders back and away from your ears. Spin your pinky toenails down. On your next inhale, thumbs float up to the sky, but don't reach your shoulders forward, reach them back. Then the thumbs lift, and then on a separate inhale, float the feet up. Spread your toes like a cat does, right? And then keep lifting here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release it on down. Palms next to your rib cage, elbows in. Tuck your toes. I'm going to demonstrate the no before the yes, okay? The no is roll up. Really, really, really bad on the low back. Even if it might feel like a good stretch for a second, over time, damage, right? So that's the no. No rolling. The yes is straight, flat spine. Look down. Push up to the knees again, or straight to plank. Straight flat spine. Up we go. And back, downward facing dog. Nicely done, guys. Good. Take an inhale here, press back through your heels. On your exhale, we're gonna bend the knees and we're gonna slowly walk forward to the front of our mats. We're stretching out our Achilles tendons as we come up to the front of the mat. And at the top of the mat, your big toes are gonna touch. Your heels are gonna spin apart slightly. It'll feel pigeon-toed, but what you want is the outside edge of the foot to be parallel with the edge of the mat. Drop your head and rock your weight super far forward into your toes, out of your heels, and then fold forward maybe a little bit more. I'm gonna shake your head no, and nod your head yes. And then we're gonna take our fingertips either to the floor, or if you can't reach the floor, you'll take them to your shins. Spin your inner elbows forward. Inhale, flat back, but keep your chin coming towards your chest. So you don't wanna like this and hurt your neck. Keep the head down even though the spine is long. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, keep both heels on the floor, but bend your left knee, drop the crown of the head towards the floor. You'll feel an extra stretch in your right hamstring. And inhale, back up, 2 straight legs, chin to the chest. Exhale, bend your right knee, drop it down. Both heels stay on the floor. Inhale, take it forward, 2 straight legs. And on the exhale, we're gonna forward fold with 2 straight legs, just drop it down and keep rocking forward into those toes. Then pull the navel into the spine a little bit more and see if you can forward fold just a little bit more here. Now on your next inhale, bend your knees, lift your toes, slowly roll up to standing. Good. Oh, my head's out of frame. I'm gonna come back here so you can see me. Okay, big toes touch, palms forward, tuck your tailbone under. Now lift your toes off the floor. Notice when you do that, the whole front of your legs activate, right? Everything's getting into the process, right? As opposed to just, right? Everything gets a little taller. And then we're gonna inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. And on the exhale, palms to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. On your exhale, flat back swan dive all the way back down. You're at the front of your mat. Let me get it there for you. And on the next inhale, heart forward, flat back. On the exhale, step your right foot all the way to the back of the room. And we're gonna separate the feet as if they're on train tracks, but you're gonna spin your right heel down to the floor. Now here's the deal. Look at your right toes. Make sure they're pointing up at a diagonal. So they're not pointing out to the side. The heel's spinning back, right? And then when you're ready, you're gonna sweep the arms up, warrior one. Here we go. Yeah. So in your first warrior one, don't go crazy, right? You don't have to sink super low. Just make sure that right hip is turning forward. So if your right toes are pointed out, there's not going to be much chance that'll happen. Point them up a little bit. Arms come up, shoulders drop. Now sink down into the front knee a little bit. Maybe take a little bit of a back bend. And then we're going to take a deep inhale here. And on the exhale, we're going to release the hands behind the back. Now interlace your fingers. Press your full palms together here. Try to take your hands slightly to the outside of your right thigh, right? Just kind of spin that right hip forward a little bit more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, start to fold forward. Now make it a true fold forward, right? Don't angle to the right. Keep it directly over the left thigh. And then as you fold down a little bit more, maybe you'll come to the thigh. Some of you guys can drop it down to the inside of the left knee, but again, don't come out to the right. Keep it centered. Right shoulder dropping, breathing to your own degree. On your next inhale, come on back up. Warrior one, hands to the sky. And exhale, release the hands back down. Lift your right heel, take an inhale. Exhale, shoot your left foot back to plank. There you go, good. Inhale, crown of the head as far forward as you go. On the exhale, the elbows touch the rib cage. We're gonna lower either to the floor or to a couple inches above, and then inhale, up dog or cobra. So here's your up dog. Can you guys see my legs are not on the floor? But they're not on the floor because I'm pushing with my hands, not my feet, okay? Feet are relaxed, push with the hands, roll the shoulders back, take an inhale. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. On your next inhale, float forward to plank position, top of a push-up. On the exhale, right knee melts to just below the right hip. Spin to the sole of the left foot. Spin your right inner elbow forward, and then take your left hand to your left hip. Point that elbow up. Look to the sky. Slow inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, palm towards the front of the room, reach. And I'm trying to float my left arm behind my left ear here, right? Either stay here or flex your left foot so much that foot floats up here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, just an option, not a mandatory. Knee bends, grab the ankle. Notice my foot keeps moving down. I don't drop my hip and lift the foot. I drop the foot, lift the hip. Pull the heel toward the hip, and then exhale, push away. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, sweep it all the way back down to plank position. From here, you can push right back down dog, or you can lower down chaturanga. You can inhale up dog or cobra, your choice, and then push back downward facing dog. From here, we're going to inhale, press back through the heels, and then exhale, bring the knees together to touch, bring the feet together, point your toes, push back, child's pose, okay? Hips sink to the heels. If you can't sink your hips to the heels, no worries. If your knees bother you in this position, roll up a towel or a t-shirt and stick them right up underneath your knees, right behind here, and release like this. It should help a lot. We want to drop the head down, relax the neck, and then we'll take a couple of breaths here. On the inhales, really reach forward with the hands, and on the exhales, try to melt down just a little bit more. Right, so this is our first opportunity to practice our theme for the week. Relax. Make this delicious. Take nice, deep inhales that feed you. And on the exhales, just let anything go that's bothering you. Even if it's the sound of my voice. It is totally okay to dislike me at any time. I will frustrate you at some point if I haven't already. Let it go. You're here to help yourself. And any way that I can make that happen, I'm here for that. So when you're ready, on an inhale, just creep the fingertips forward. No big deal, no big deal. Tuck your toes, push back downward facing dog. Now what we're going to do is we're going to, okay, so where did we end up? I gave you the down dog, yes. So on the next inhale, we're going to bend our knees, look forward. And at the end of the exhale, you're going to step or lightly float feet up to the hands, okay? So you can step, or you can hop. No big deal. Feet come up top of the mat, right? Big toes are going to touch. Heels are going to spin apart. You're going to drop your head, relax your neck, rock the weight forward into the toes, out of the heels. Now, take your hands to your low back. Interlace your fingers again, just like we did in our first warrior one we did. Press your full palms together. Roll your shoulders away from the ears. Okay, maybe you're just going to stay here. Maybe that's plenty on your shoulders and your hamstrings. Maybe start to straighten the arms a little bit. If you've got super open shoulders, you can drop the hands down, but don't separate the heels of the hands, okay? Keep them pressed really active. Then everyone returns the hands to the low back. Switch over, other thumb on top. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. And then maybe straighten a little or a lot. Maybe drop it down. If you can keep pressing the heels and hands together, then return to the low back. Release the hands to the floor. Bend your knees, lift your toes. Inhale, roll up to standing. I'm going to scoot back so you can see me, but you're at the front of the mat, right? Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. On your exhale, just flat back swan dive all the way back down. And then you're up here. Inhale, flat back. On your exhale, step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Again, separate the feet as if they're on train tracks. We're going to set up our warrior 1 foot position on this other side. So spin your left hip forward, right hip back. When you're ready, slow inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior 1. And then drop the shoulders and take all the time you need on this side to really check with everything. Is the hip coming forward? What's this knee doing? If it's winging out, bring it back. When your toes point forward, hips under. Maybe sink down just a little bit more here. Maybe float the arms back. A little bit of a look up to the side possibly. Then take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, release the hands behind the back. We're going to interlace the fingers, non-dominant thumb on top. That's whatever way feels weird. So whatever we naturally do the other one this time. Inhale, press and lift. And exhale, slowly start to fold forward. And again, we're going towards the right side, not over towards the left, right? Keep it center, center. Drop your head, relax. If you'd like to take the right shoulder to the inside of the right knee, again, remember to lead with the left shoulder and keep the hips square. Keep pulling the right hip back, the left hip forward. And then slow inhale, sweep back up. Warrior 1. Yes, exhale, release it back down. Lift your left heel, inhale here. Exhale, step the right foot back. Inhale, crown of the head forward. Exhale, you can push right back down dog or lower down chaturanga, your choice. And we're all gonna meet back in downward facing dog. So from here, we're gonna go through that warrior one forward fold thing one more time each side, just in a much quicker clip, okay? So on this next inhale, we're gonna take the left leg up behind, the hips are square, the foot is flexed, the toes point down. On your exhale, step the left foot up, spin the right heel flat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior one. Exhale, hands behind and interlace. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold forward to your own degree. Inhale, come on back up, warrior one. Exhale, take it back down to plank. From here, step back down dog or lower down chaturanga, your choice. From your down dog, inhale your right leg up behind, hips are square, foot is flexed, toes point down. Exhale, step it up between the hands, spin the back heel flat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, warrior one. And exhale, release behind, interlace, non-dominant thumb on top. Inhale here, exhale, fold forward. On your inhale, come on back up, warrior one. And exhale, take it back down to plank. From here, you can push back down dog or lower down chaturanga, your choice. We're all gonna meet in down dog and breathe. Well done, you guys. Bring your big toes together, spin your heels apart. Take an inhale, press back through your heels. On your exhale, open up your knees to the edges of the mat. So the toes are touching, but the knees are separated. Untuck your toes, push back, wide knee, child's pose, drop down, and you got it. Relax. Breathe and release. So one of three things is possible. Possibly right now you're like, this is going at the perfect pace for me. Fantastic. Possibly you're going, this is going too slowly for me. I'm bored. Just you wait. I'll have plenty for you later. Possibility number three, you're like, what is this craziness? I can't do this at all. It's pretzel. If that's you, remembering that you're taking it in bite-sized pieces. Maybe you're trying just a little bit on each side, right? Then coming back to your child's pose. Maybe you're sitting and just breathing for a while and then jumping back in. What should not happen is, I can't do every single thing she's telling me, so I should just stop this tape or turn off the live stream, right? Just breathe here, okay? See what appeals to you, give it a try. Be gentle. All motion is good motion as long as you're doing it with wisdom, i.e. the way that I'm asking you to do it, right? Don't do something crazy. Oh, I got an idea. I want to change this. When you're ready, inhale, walk the fingertips forward. On your exhale, tuck your toes, push back, downward facing dog. We're going to open up the hip a little bit now. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up and open to the sky. Open the hip, open the shoulder, look underneath your left armpit. My right heel's melting down, my left leg's lifting. I'm gonna take a nice deep inhale here. On the exhale, bend my left knee. Circle the ankle both directions. And then look up to my hands and push my chest away from the floor. Spin my right inner elbow forward, come up to the fingertips of my left hand. Maybe just hang out here, or if you're interested in flipping your dog, keep your right leg straight, keep your left leg bent. Slowly release the left leg behind. When the foot touches the floor, lift your hips, lift the arm, maybe reach the arm behind, whatever feels good to you, right? But don't drop your butt down, get it up. On your next inhale, come on back to downward facing dog, leg is lifted, hip is open. On your next exhale, step your left foot all the way up between the hands. Well done. If it didn't make it there, creep it forward, right? What we don't want is the foot back here and the knee forward. No. What we do want is the foot forward so the knee's on top of the ankle, not on top of the toes. Okay? So keep your hands here by your foot. Take an inhale. On your exhale, we're just going to shift our weight forward and start to straighten this left leg, walking the hands forward and flexing the right foot. If you've got a block or two blocks, you can use them right here under the hands, but I don't want you guys to open this hip. Okay, drop it down. Doesn't matter how high this leg is. It can be right down here by the floor. Spin this right hip down and you will feel something on your left hamstring, I promise. Now take the crown of the head forward, and if it feels good to you, we're going to float the left hand up to the left hip. And we're going to start to open into a little mini twist here by looking to the left, Spinning the right inner elbow forward, rolling the shoulders away from the floor, and then maybe inhaling the left arm up to the sky. And breathe. And take a deep inhale here. And exhale, release the hand back down. Now we're going to do the exact opposite of that. We're going to start to point the right toes out towards the wall. To many of you, this will feel good. Maybe tap your right hand on the floor. Maybe float this right hand up to the right hip, okay? My foot is flexed. My right foot is flexed. Maybe you will fall over like I just did. Hooray for falling. It means we're challenging our balance, right? If you move your gaze, that's going to challenge your balance a lot more, right? So keep this foot flexed. Keep opening up to the sky. And then maybe inhale the right arm up here, right? Take an inhale. On your exhale, if it feels fun to you, bend your right knee. Remember we just did this on hands and knee before? Maybe you'll catch the outside of the ankle here, pull the heel into the hip. Remember we just did that with the knee on the floor a little while ago. And then push the foot away, open up a little bit. This is just an option, not mandatory. Slow inhale, straighten the leg, straighten the arm. On the exhale, sweep the right hand back down. Square off the hips, guys. Right toes point to the floor. Inhale, crown of the head forward. Exhale, slowly bend your left knee. Slowly step the right foot all the way back. Hands move back to either side of the left foot. Here you have an optional jump switch, only if you want. Take an inhale, look back to your right toes. On the exhale, hips lift. Feet swap. Right foot forward, left foot back, right? From here, everybody will step back to plank. And then you can either push right back down dog or lower down chaturanga. Remember those elbows have got to be touching the rib cage the whole time. We all meet in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, lift the right leg up and open to the sky. Open the hip, open the shoulder, get it up. Melt that left heel down. Push your chest away from the front of the mat. And then take an inhale here, looking underneath your right armpit. Exhale, bend your right knee. Circle the ankle both directions. And then look up to your hands. Push your chest away from the floor. Spin your left inner elbow forward. Come up to the fingertips of the right hand. Maybe tap the hand a couple times. Maybe slowly keeping the left leg straight and the right leg bent. Right foot fronts the floor here. Hips lift. Arm to the sky or over your head. Keep the hips lifting here. And then on your next inhale, come on back to downward facing dog with the right leg lifted. If you need to do that in 2 parts, it's fine. Deep inhale here, and exhale, step the right foot all the way up between the hands. High lunge here, really good. Take all the time you need to make this happen. Again, no, yes, right? Knee right on top of the ankle. Square off the hips and feel the squareness of the hips here, right? Notice that you're not lifting your left hip. No, it's the same height as the right. And we're going to keep that as we transition forward. Deep inhale. On your exhale, slowly shift your weight forward. Start to straighten your right leg. Walk your hands forward. They should be under your shoulders here. Flex your left foot. Don't worry how high this leg is, right? It can be any height, but we don't want the hip lifted. Drop the hip down. Drop your head. If you look at your left toes and they're pointing out to the left, point them to the floor. That'll solve it. Crown the head forward. Spinning our elbows forward. On your next inhale, consider floating the right hand up to the right hip, opening into a mini twist here, maybe straightening this left leg a little bit more. Slow inhale, right arm comes up to the sky, twist it open. And then take a nice deep inhale here. And on the exhale, sweep the arm back down. And then we're going to start pointing the left toes out towards the left side of the room. That'll feel good to a lot of you guys. Stack the hip. And then maybe float the left hand up to the left hip. And again, falling is encouraged here, right? When we fall, it means we're challenging our balance. If I don't fall at least once during my practice, I know I wasn't challenging myself enough. Toes point towards the wall. Maybe slow inhale, left arm comes up. And then if you want, you can bend your left knee. Maybe reach back and catch the outside of the ankle, just as we did on hands and knees before. And then slowly push the foot into the hand, open up a little bit. And slow inhale, straighten. And exhale, sweep it on down, hips square, toes point to the floor. Inhale, crown of the head forward. You should be feeling a lot in your right hamstring right now. On the exhale, bend your right knee, step your left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Really great, you guys. If you like the jump switch on the other side, you can try it here. Make sure your feet are separated super, super far. Take an inhale, look back to your left foot. And on the exhale, lift and switch. Yeah, well done. Inhale here, navel to the spine, step to plank. From here, you can push back down dog or lower down chaturanga, your choice. We're all gonna return to downward facing dog. This time we're gonna bring our big toes together, spin our heels apart. Inhale, press back through the heels. On your exhale, keep your knees together this time. Lower them to the mat, untuck your toes, push back, hips to the heels, and then take your arms around behind. I'm gonna come closer so you guys can see this. Okay. Take your hands on top of your feet, top of the hands on the soles of the feet. Inhale, crown the head forward. And on the exhale, drop. Everything drops down. Head drops down, shoulders, hands, just flop it on down here. Okay. Take a couple of breaths to relax, right? Just release into this. You don't have to make this an active child's pose. Just let it be the beauty of relaxation. Take as many breaths as feels good for you here, and then you'll join us in downward facing dog when you're ready. If you'd like more child's pose, absolutely take it. If you are ready to move on from your down dog, inhale, float forward to plank position, top of the push-up. And now you have two excellent choices. Number one, left knee to the floor, spin to the sole of the foot as we did before. Okay. Number two, spin to the sole of the left foot, stack the right foot, right hand to the hip. So this, what is not an option is this, okay? Not an option. If your left leg is straight, the right leg's got to be on top of it. It's just the left foot that's on the floor. Spin your left inner elbow forward, right hand to the hip. You can also have your left knee on the floor, right? Same thing from here. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, arm reaches. And then wherever your left leg is, doesn't matter. On an inhale, maybe you're going to lift your right leg. Maybe tap. Come on back down to plank. Awesome, you guys. From here, you can push right back down dog or lower down chaturanga, your choice. We're all meeting down dog here. Then we're going to inhale, bend our knees and look forward. And the exhale, step or lightly float, feet to the hands. Big toes touch, heels spin apart, drop your head, relax your neck. Take your hands to your hips and just drop your elbows down. Everything rolls down, shoulders, elbows. And then next inhale, elbows point up, shoulders roll away from the floor. Next inhale, flat back, rise to standing. And exhale, palms down. And inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep it up, look up. Exhale, flat back, swan dive, right back down. Again, it's your forward fold. Inhale, heart forward, chin to the chest. On the exhale, step your right foot all the way to the back of your mat, but this time the feet are going to be set up as if they're on a balance beam. So it's directly on the midline of your mat, both feet will go. The right toes are still pointing up at a diagonal, not out here. Yes, up here, right? When you're ready, peel this right hip open, cartwheel on an inhale, right hand, left hand, warrior two. Right? And then just breathe here. And if you see that your left knee is passing your ankle, scoot your front foot forward a bit, right? Drop your shoulders, curl your tailbone under, make sure the knee's pointing straight forward, not coming in at all, right? Really nice, you guys. Take a deep inhale, sink as far as you can. Exhale, straighten your front leg. Awesome. Inhale, reach as far forward as you can. On the exhale, left hand's coming down, maybe to the thigh, maybe to the shin, possibly to the floor or a block, but it's not coming to the knee, right? Above the knee, below the knee, all good choices, right? Now, crown the head forward. Extend through the ribcage, right? So we're not going to do this. We are going to do this. If you find yourself collapsing, just come up a little bit. No big deal. Look to the ceiling and really extend as much as you can. And sometimes in my Trikonasana, I like to bring my back foot up an inch or two. And then that lets me get a little more extension through the ribcage. You guys can probably see that, right? Option here, if you want, and if you can reach, take the peace fingers of the left hand, put them in between the big toe and the toe next to it, and then pull and extend from there. Spin those inner elbows forward, look up. Oh, so good. Yes. And inhale, come on back up slowly. Good. And exhale, we're going to cartwheel on down. Right hand, left hand, really nice, you guys. Lift your right heel. Okay, here comes another great balance challenge. We're going to take an inhale, and on the exhale, see if you can shoot forward and come all the way to standing. Right knee comes to the chest. Might or might not work. Don't worry either way. Flex your right foot, circle your ankle both directions. So if you didn't do that, just come to the front, stand, bring the knee to the chest. Okay? Now we're going to cross our right knee over our left, and we're going to do that by sitting back into an imaginary chair. So imagine a Katasana here, and you're crossing over, but we're not doing this, right? We're crossing right over, and then maybe some of you guys will hook your right toes around the back of the left ankle. Mine or might not happen, no big deal. So we're coming to eagle in whatever way feels good to you. Sit back, sit back, sit back. Then take the arms forward, right? The right arm comes down slightly, the left hand comes up. Cross your left elbow on top of your right. Optional, hands together, not necessary, okay? Keep your back straight and flat here as much as possible. Keep your knees coming forward as much as possible. Inhale, lift, and exhale, sink a little bit. And then inhale, lift, and exhale, fold. Tuck it in. Shoulders come down. And then inhale, come on back up. And exhale, see if you can step the right foot all the way to the back of the room. You're back in your high lunge. Really good, you guys. And again, if you fell over, hooray for you. You challenged your balance. Now we're going to do a kicking exercise that I absolutely love. If this is new to you, just go ahead and come down to knees to watch for a second. But you're already set up correctly for it. Here's how it works. So you're in your high lunge. You're going to take your left foot back just a little bit, just behind your hands. So it's not all the way up by your face, but it's not way back here either, okay? You're going to keep your shoulders over your hands as in plank position. We're never going to start from down dog. We only start from plank. Palms are flat. That's super important. Don't come up on your fingertips. Palms flat. Inner elbows forward. I'm going to look to my fingertips. I am not going to look at my foot. I'm going to look up here. Okay, I'm going to inhale, bend both knees. Exhale, kick my back leg up. Okay, for right now, only worry about your back leg, just the right leg. So you're going to inhale, exhale, exhale. You have one job, and that's to get that right leg up in the sky, right? You may find that as you do that, inhale, exhale, maybe the left foot leaves the floor as well, right? Maybe you come up to your handstand, surprise, right? Don't make that your goal. Just see what happens, right? To get down from here, the easy way is one leg at a time. So that left foot's going to come back down. The right foot takes all the time necessary to come back. What I don't want you guys to do is try to get both legs up there, right? That never works. Just think right leg lifts, okay? So come to your plank position. And again, you can do a mini kick here. Perfectly safe, right? Keep clawing with your fingertips. Those are your brakes to prevent you from going too far forward. And again, you're not starting from down dog. You are starting from plank. Left foot kind of under your chest. Inhale, exhale, just kick up that right leg. Try it maybe 5 times if you're having fun more, right? To your own degree. Again, the left foot never has to leave the floor. I'm going to give you a minute to have fun here. Later on, we'll do the other side, so just do it with the left foot forward right now. So proud of you guys. Yay. And when it's no longer fun, we're just going to come to sitting. You can take the legs underneath you, or you can have lotus if you want, but it'll work better this way, right? Flip your palms open to the sky. Release through the wrists. Nice. And then just shake them out. And now we're going to take a quick foray into an arm balance if it feels fun to you. Again, right? If you're like, I don't want an arm balance, totally fine. But I'm going to give you the option. So I'm going to demo crow and crane, right? So your first option is balls of the feet together, knees point out, the palms down. You're going to point your elbows out, and then you're going to lift your hips much higher than you think they need to be. So this is what it looks like from the front. This is what it looks like from the side. Do you see how high my hips are? It won't work down here. It has to be like I'm almost going to go to a headstand. I lift my heels, I point my elbows out, and then my tricep and my shin comes together. My tricep is a shelf for my shins to sit on. From the front, you'll see that my knees are pointing out. I think you can see that. My black pants are not helping. I should have colored pants on today. And then I claw with my fingertips and I lean forward. And once I lean forward, the feet will float up naturally. So what I'm not doing is this, launching. Right? Then you end up in a headstand. Not disaster, but not where you want to go, right? Elbows out, come forward, forward, forward. You'll know when the feet can float up gently. And then just keep pushing the floor away, right? And that's just mechanics, right? You can stay here for a very long time. If you like a more challenging version, full crane, the only difference is the elbows don't point out, they point back, just like we would in a down dog. Middle fingers point forward, then the knees tuck up into the armpits, right? So in crow, my knees are out. In full crane, knees are forward. Looks like this from the side. Knees in, slowly come forward. I make just a little bit of a shelf here. I don't bend my elbows quite so much because the shins are in a position to have a greater surface area here. And then try to straighten the arms as much as possible. Pull the heels up towards the butt as much as possible. Stay there as long as it feels fun and then release. And if all of this is you're like, I don't want to do this kicking exercise, I don't want to do this arm balance, totally fine. Relax. Take your child's pose. You have 3 different options already in class today. And then we're all going to return to our downward facing dog when we're ready. So just take a second to play with that if that feels good. And then we'll go back to down dog. We'll do a time check. We're good. Perfect timing. Yay. So when you're ready, we'll all return to downward facing dog. You can take that in whatever way feels right to you. And then we're going to take a Vashisthasana on the other side. And again, you can have modified knee to the floor or straight legs. So inhale, float forward to plank position, top of push up. On your exhale, either melt the right knee to the floor or spin to the sole of the right foot, stack the left. Left foot doesn't touch the floor at all. Left hand comes to the left hip, spin the right inner elbow forward, look up to the sky, inhale, take the arm up, exhale, palm towards the front of the room, reach, and then no matter where your right leg is, maybe on an inhale, your left leg lifts, maybe you can tap it, and then come on back down to plank. From here, you can either push back down dog or lower down chaturanga, your choice. And we all return to downward facing dog. And then we're going to take an inhale, bend the knees, look forward. End of the exhale step, we're lightly flip feet to the hands. You can come through a handstand maybe if you like. I like to do that sometimes. And gently release down. Big toes are going to touch at the front of the mat. Heels spin apart, head drops. Then we take the hands to the hips. And again, just drop the elbows down. Let the shoulders roll down. And next, inhale, elbows point to the sky, shoulders roll back. Inhale, flat back, rise to standing. Exhale, palms to the front. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, flat back, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, heart forward, chin to the chest. Exhale, step your left foot all the way to the back of the room. Spin your back heel flat. We're setting up on that balance beam again. So your right heel should end up at about the midpoint of your left arch, right? Left toes point up at a diagonal. First, peel that left hip up. Then on an inhale, cartwheel up. Left arm, right arm. Warrior 2. Here we go. We're going to sink it down. Just take a second to enjoy this. And maybe reach extra to the back of the room, right? To sink down a little bit more. Check in with the knee. Check in with your tailbone. Good. And then take one more deep inhale. Sink as low as you can. And exhale, straighten the front leg. Beautiful. Inhale, reach as far forward as you can. And now's the time to release the right hand down, maybe to the thigh, maybe to the shin, maybe to the floor or a block, but not the knee, right? Pick anything that's not the knee to hold on to. And then we're going to spin the right inner elbow forward, take the crown of the head forward, extend through the rib cage as much as we can. And maybe I'm going to toe heel my left foot up just a little bit so that I can get more of a stretch here. And then there's the option for some of you guys who want it. Take the peace fingers to the right hand, thread them in between the big toe and the toe next to it. And then use that to pull and lengthen and spin open towards the ceiling a little bit more. On your next inhale, come on back up to standing. On the exhale, bend your right knee, cartwheel down, lift your left heel, separate your feet hip distance apart again, high wedge, okay? And again, here's that option to come straight to standing from here. Take an inhale. On your exhale, tuck it in left knee, and we stand right up, left knee to the chest. If not, you're just gonna stand and then bring knee up, right? Same difference. Flex your left foot, circle the ankle, both directions. Good. And then hands to the hips, and we're going to start to cross the left leg over the right? So again, keep the legs together. So what we don't want is this. That's a different pose. We're not doing today, but we'll soon, right? Here we go. Sit it back, tuck, tuck. Some of you guys might be able to wrap your left toes around the back of the right ankle. It's not necessary. It's just an option. Okay, keep sitting back here, right? Like a downhill skier. Take the arms forward. This time the left arm drops, the right arm lifts, right elbow on top of the left. And then maybe the palms come together, not necessary. We keep trying to work the knees forward. Inhale, lift, and exhale, sink. And inhale, lift, and exhale, tuck it in, fold. Oh, my back just cracked. That was great. This pose is Eagle is a wonderful digestion aid. So if you're feeling like a little bit sluggish, try some Eagle, see what happens. And then when you're ready, inhale, come up. You're gonna unwind. And then on the exhale, step the left foot all the way back to the back. And then you're back in your high lunge. Really good, you guys. So great. Now from here, we're gonna do our kicking exercise on the other side. So last time we had the left leg forward, this time it's the right leg. So again, this right foot's gonna move back to just behind your hands. And you'll find the spot that gives you the most oomph, right? I discourage you from lifting the leg and trying to go from here. I know some teachers teach that. I do not encourage that, and I'll show you why. Because down here is where you're gonna get the most power, right? So here, inhale, exhale, shoot that leg up. Inhale, exhale. You'll see that you've got so much power going up than just starting here and trying to do this, right? Look at your fingers, not your feet. Look forward. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Maybe that right foot also lifts, but just let that be an afterthought. Your one job is the left leg getting up, and maybe you'll come to handstand here, maybe not. No big deal either way. If you do, remembering to return gently with one leg at a time. So try to make it the other leg you didn't do last time. So this time I'm bringing my right foot down. Gently release. Try like 5 of those or more if it feels fun. And then we will reconvene. Time check. Perfect, perfect. So when you've done a couple of those kicking exercises on the other side with the right foot forward, we're going to come back to legs folded under, palms up, release the wrists. Good. And this time make fists of your hands, circle the wrists, both directions. Really good. Shake, shake, shake. Nicely done. We're going to take one more round of crow or crane. I'm going to give you one more option if you're interested. So you can take the crow I just showed you, the crane I just showed you, or let's do a one-legged crane. I know a lot of you guys like that a lot. So I'm going to see, let me try this angle. My left is a lot better than my right. So this is my sucky side, but you guys will be able to see it better. I'm going to take, there's 2 ways to get into one-legged crane, okay? One is to set the knee in the armpit and then lift the back leg. The other is to lift the back leg and then lift the front foot off the floor. Let me see if I can show you what I mean by this. So I'm going to turn to the side here. So option number 1 is I'm going to tuck my knee in to my armpit. I'm going to lift the front foot, right? And then I'm going to lean forward, lean forward, lean forward, and then the other leg floats up. I find that the easier way, right? Or the way I like more. The second option, I'll demo on the other side. What's this? Foot, good. So the second option is we take the knee in, and then we lift the leg. And then we keep leaning forward, 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 forward until this front foot can lift. I find that a lot more challenging. But why not try one or both? And if that just doesn't seem fun to you at all, go back to your crow, go back to your regular crane, or relax, right? Take a second to breathe, take your child's pose, etc. Since I demoed one type on each side, now for my own personal symmetry, I'm going to do the opposite of what I just did. Right? So I'm going to do the hard version, or what I consider the hard version, on the right side. Right. Ugh, cool, cool, cool. Now I'm going to do my preferred version on the left side. That's what I didn't do here. Seems so much more manageable to me. But it's so good to take variations that we're not used to or don't normally gravitate to, right? Myself included. So I try to find those things for myself, and I also try to offer them to you. If you guys notice, sometimes people write to me, they're like, haha, you fell during that practice. I'm like, of course I fell during the practice. I'm challenging myself all the time. If I'm not keeping it fresh for my body, right, my balance is going to diminish, right? I have to keep challenging here, challenging there, making it fun for my body and keeping it guessing, right? The worst thing we can do is exactly the same, exactly the same, exactly the same. That goes for our physical life, right? Our exercise life. It goes for nutrition, right? No matter how on point our nutrition is, if it's the same all the time, right? Our bodies are designed to thrive on diversity, right? Side note. Okay, if you're done with your crow and crane practice, next up, my beautiful people, we did the kicks both side, we did the crow both side. Beautiful. It's time for hip openers. What? Let's go ahead and come to a sitting position. Now, here's how we're going to do this. If you want, option, hands forward, cross your legs at the shins. I'll do it here so you can see. Cross, roll back, come to sitting. If you don't like that, just sit, swing your legs around, no big deal, right? So today we're going to take a hip opener that's doable for absolutely everyone, no matter how tight your hips are, and then I'm going to give you some cool options after that, okay? So feet flat, hands under the knees, inhale, lift your heart. Then we're going to take the hands back behind us, point your fingers forward. Inhale, lift your left leg up, flex the foot. Exhale, left heel comes just above the right knee. The foot remains flexed. I can't emphasize this enough. This is what's protecting your knee. Point your hands towards the back of the room. And then if this is super easy for you, walk your right foot close to your hip. If it's really bad, like, ooh, doesn't feel good now, take your foot forward just a little bit, okay? Keep that left foot flexed. And then we're just gonna circle the knee around clockwise and counterclockwise a couple times. And if you like this, and if you're feeling a lot in your left hip already, you're gonna stay. If you're not and you want something extra, I'm just going to scoot forward so you can see me. You guys stay where you are. You're going to roll onto your back. And you're going to bring the right knee towards the chest. And you're going to thread the needle. Left hand in between the legs, right around the side. Interlace the fingers. And now drop this leg down. Okay, don't do this. Yes, do this. Keep this left foot flexed. Okay, from here, pull the right thigh towards the chest. Take your left elbow. You can't see it here, I don't think, but I'm pushing my left thigh away with my left elbow. And I just pulse here. Some of you guys might want to baby cradle your leg here. If you want to, release the right leg, straighten it down to the floor. Take the sole of the left foot into the right inner elbow, and then wrap your left arm around the left knee. Okay? Then drop your head, keep flexing that left foot, rock the foot towards and away from the nose here. If you need something else here, your next option is release the foot, thread the left arm underneath, palm towards your face, right arm underneath, palm towards your face. So my right arm's at about my ankle, my left arm is up on my knee. Drop my head, and again, rock the foot towards and away from the nose. Flexing that left foot a lot. Maybe you're still sitting up and doing that version. Wherever it is, breathe into this hip opener. And then if you're interested in a forward fold today, we're going to take the left elbow behind the back of the knee. Maybe drop the head here. Maybe you're taking the shoulder behind the back of the knee. Maybe some of you guys are going to take the foot and bring it behind the back of the neck. Look at that. Take the peace fingers of the right hand, grab the big toes, extend the left arm out. Okay? This is just for a couple of people who might be interested. Not necessary. Just a little cherry on top for anybody who wants, right? Just breathe. Press the head into the foot, right? You'll get more of a hip stretch. And then release it down. Nicely done, guys. Bring your knees to your chest. Inhale, exhale, roll up to sitting. Roll up, okay? We're gonna take a straddle now. So just take the legs out to anything that feels good to you, okay? So if your legs are super far out and you're hunching forward, that's not optimal. Bring the legs in until you can sit up super, super straight here, okay? Flex your feet, right? See if you can lift your heels off the floor. Might or might not happen. Good. Now release. You can just kind of relax. Now we're going to take the left elbow down to the floor, the right arm up to the sky. This might be plenty for you, okay? If you're like, oh, it's stressed to get my elbow down, great. Reach with your right arm, keep trying to lift up even as the left elbow releases down. If you'd like more here, I'm going to turn to face you guys so you can see. Right hand, palm towards the other side of the room, reach, right? Not like this. Yes, like this. We're still spinning up. For some of you guys with a really crazy side bend, maybe you're going to lower the shoulder down. Maybe you're going to reach over and grab the foot, right? Again, just a few of you, this is appropriate, right? And breathe. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly come on back up. Great job. Grab underneath the knees, pull and lift, come back to sitting. Now we're going to do the hip opener on the opposite side. Take the hands back behind. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, right ankle comes just above the left knee. The right foot is on the outside of the leg. Fingers point back. Straighten your spine, right? I can feel this right now. You might need to bring the left heel in or bring it out, right? My good point's about here. I've got really tight hips, right? And then we're just going to circle the knee both directions. So why do we flex the foot in our hip openers? Okay. The most common yoga injury is knee injuries, and they are almost always occurring in hip openers, right? The reason why is the knee only bends one way, right? I just talked about this in my cardio class yesterday. The knee bends like this, right? It doesn't bend the opposite way, and it definitely does not bend side to side. So when the hip is trying to open, sometimes if you're pushing down here, the emphasis is taken here instead of here, right? The knee can pop out. If we flex the foot, that activates all the surrounding muscles and it keeps the knee where it's supposed to be. If I let the foot get lazy, those muscles aren't activated and my knee can pop out, right? Or a person's can. If you'd like to, so that's Danger Will Robinson is the name of that game, right? Keep the foot flexed to protect yourself. If you'd like to try a different version, I'm going to scoot forward so you can see me. I'm going to release to my back. I'm going to thread the needle. I'm going to interlace my fingers. Guess what? Non-dominant thumb on top. Drop that foot. Pull the left thigh towards the chest. Take your right elbow towards your right thigh. Push away. And then we're just pulsing here. So some of you open hip folks, you'll be able to bring the right shin like way up by your chest. I cannot do that, but you might be able to do that. And if you'd like a different version, if you're interested in baby cradling on this side, you're going to release the left leg, take that left leg out straight, and drop it down to the floor. Okay, so this is also a hip flexor opener slightly. Sole of the right foot comes to the left inner elbow. Right arm wraps around. Interlace the fingers. Guess what? Non-dominant thumb on top. Release the head down. Oh, this side is harder for me. Rock the foot towards and away from the face. And then if you'd like to move on to the next version, we'll thread the right arm underneath the calf, left arm underneath the ankle. Foot is still flexing. Palms are spread wide. Drop the head and then rock the foot towards and away from the face. And then if you're interested in the forward fold, you'll reposition the right elbow underneath the back of the right knee. Maybe you're just going to drop your head down there. Maybe you'll take your shoulder behind the back of the right knee. Maybe some of you guys will take the ankle behind the back of the head, peace fingers, the left hand, grabs the big toe, extend the right arm out, right? Press your head into the leg, right? And you can maybe rock a little bit here if that feels good. And then take a deep inhale wherever you are. On the exhale, slowly release it down. Bring the knees to the chest. Inhale, exhale, rock front to back a couple times, and then rock up to sitting. And we're going to take our straddle on the other side. Let me scoot back a bit. So you can assist with your hands to get out there. Oh, because your hips might feel kind of funky right now, right? They got a good stretch. We did a nice long one. Perfect timing. So again, we are going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to turn to you guys and make this a little more center. Beautiful. And then we're going to flex, try to lift the heels, and then relax. And then just kind of wiggle the toes, wiggle the toes. We're going to take the right elbow down to the floor, left arm up to the sky. And you might be like, yeah, that's a great stretch in my left rib cage. That might be all you need. You're just going to work it here, get taller, right? If you need more, take an inhale. Exhale, palm towards the right side of the room, reach. And again, we're not collapsing down. We are opening up as much as we can. So guys, the goal is not to drop to the floor. The goal is to get a stretch, right? So find the best place for you to get a stretch. That might be up higher, or maybe for you, it's lower, right? Oh, that feels good to me, but most people not. And then I keep trying to spin open towards the sky here. Ooh, and I breathe into my left rib cage. I love it. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly come on back up. And then go ahead and grab your legs and help hold it on. Good. And then just bring your knees to your chest and kind of wiggle out your toes a little bit. Circle your wrists a little bit. And now, yes, we're right on time. It's time for back bends. Hooray, back bends. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to turn around. I think you guys will see this a little easier this way. You're going to take your hands to your knees. You're going to inhale, lift. And on the exhale, round your back, roll onto your back, bring your knees to your chest. Wiggle your toes, crack, circle your ankles. And then we're going to set the feet down, hip distance apart, toes are pointing in slightly. Okay. From here, we're going to take our arms above the head. This might be a slightly different method than you're used to of getting into bridge, but just give it a try, see if you like it. So the arm, got my own hair all over my face. Arms are straight above your head, backs of the hands push into the floor. From here, we're going to press through the feet on an inhale, lift the hips, and try to roll onto the top of your shoulders here. So that now when you thread your hands down, maybe you'll get a little bit higher and be able to touch those heels. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. But maybe the fingertips are on the inside of the heels and they're gently pushing out. Then we're going to push down through the feet and the legs, but relax your glutes, okay? Relax your butt. Relax. So you can punch yourself in the butt and be like, am I clenching? Stop it, right? When you clench your glutes in this position, you put so much stress on your low back. So all that 1980s calisthenics nonsense where they're like, lift, push, right? No, that's why people ended up with so much low back pain from that stuff. Take a deep inhale here, lift. And exhale, release it on down. Cool. We're going to do one more option here. I'm actually going to give you a couple options. So option number one, dang, I'm shedding. Option number one is a supported bridge. Okay, you can get there by bending your elbows, pushing down into the floor, pushing your shoulders away, coming up, and right away rocking underneath, placing your thumb at your tailbone, not up by your low back, tailbone. Curl the tailbone under. Push here. If you like here, you can turn your feet over, take the top of the feet on the floor. I like that. You can also try lifting one or both legs, but only if the soles of the feet are down, right? Don't flip your feet over and lift. From here, if you'd like to move to wheel, rock, place a hand under the shoulder, okay? Do not put the hand up here, guys. Somebody said to me in a live class a couple months ago, but it feels better there. Not when you come up, okay? Trust me, put the hand under your shoulder. Put the other hand under your shoulder. Elbows point up, toes point in. Take an inhale. Exhale, crown of the head. Now pause. Check back in with everything. Next exhale, arms straight and up you go. Okay, now you're in your wheel. Hooray! If you need more in your wheel, other options. I always love a shoulder opener here. I press and take my chest forward. Oh, my back crack, that's great. Until my legs are straight. And then I come back, okay? And you can also kind of circle around a little bit. You guys can try lifting a hand, lifting a foot, right? You can also try lifting your heels, stepping a little closer, releasing down, lift, step, etc. See what feels good to you. And then walk it back out. When you're done, when it's no longer fun, you're going to take your chin to your chest. Slowly release it on down. Yes. And then just roll out the wrists. And maybe release the neck a bit by pulling the chin to the chest a little bit. And then we're going to counter that back bend with a plow. Listen, if you hate plow, don't worry about it. Rock up to sitting. Take a regular forward fold. It's the same thing, okay? If you like plow, let's do that now. We're going to do it on our back. I'm going to turn this direction so you can see. So we were back on our backs. Bring the knees to the chest. Scoot down a bit. And try coming to plow with these arms above the head again. Might or might not work for you. Just give it a try. Legs come up. Legs come over. All the way down. Aim your toes towards your fingers. Maybe a little bit further. Right? Keep lifting the tailbone up. Like don't collapse down. Right? Get longer through the spine. Breathe here. And then take an inhale. And on your exhale, go ahead and roll it back down. When the tailbone hits the mat, bring your knees into your chest. And just rock side to side a couple times. And rock front to back a couple times. Good, good. We're going to take a quick twist. And then an inversion, and then your savasana, and that's it. So take your arms out to the sides like wings, and go ahead and take your knees and tuck them all the way up and into your left armpit, all the way up there. And then reach extra with your right knee, keep it stacked on top of the left. Now look at your right hand. Try to melt your right shoulder down here, and guess what? Relax, relax. And then when you're ready, inhale, come on back. And on the exhale, we're going to tuck the knees up and into the right armpit. Reach a little extra with your left knee. And then look at your left hand and take the left shoulder back down to the floor if you can. And then when you're ready, inhale, come on back to center. And then the knees stay at the chest, and you're going to rock side to side a couple times. And then rock front to back a couple times. And then you're going to rock up to sitting. And now is your chance to take a lovely inversion, which I so highly recommend that you do at least once a day, believe it or not. So what are your choices for inversion? And if you're like, I'm not going to do an inversion once a day, guess what constitutes an inversion? Pick a wall, sit up against it. What? So easy. I'm going to demo on, it just occurred to me that I can do this. I'm going to do it on the arm of this chair right here. This is a cat toy. We don't need that right now. So I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to put my butt up against the chair, right up against the side. Then I'm going to lay down, and I'm going to take the legs up and scoot my butt forward so that my legs are flush against the wall or the arm of the couch, as the case may be, and my butt's right up against it, right? So it's a true 90-degree angle. And then, guys, I'm just going to relax. Yeah, relax, okay? You're doing it. This is an inversion. Anything where your legs are higher than your heart, that's an inversion, right? So go ahead and relax here. If you'd like something a little more challenging, let's work on classic headstand today, okay? So classic headstand, reminder. Even if you're not going to do headstand, just put this in your head for later. Put this in your head for your headstand later. You're going to interlace your fingers. You're going to take your bottom pinky finger and tuck it under, right? Why do we do this? Because we don't want all that pressure on that tiny bone. We want to make a greater surface area on the floor, right? Now, you're trying to make an equilateral triangle. What does that mean, right? The bottom invisible part should be the same length as the arm. So if you're coming into your headstand like this, that's not going to work, right? Not going to work. Too wide at the bottom. Bring it in. Err on the side of a little closer than you think it needs to be, because most people end up spreading out a little further than they think, okay? So that's item number one. Item number two is shoulders down, right? One of the great pitfalls of headstand is people with their shoulders over their ears like this, right? Don't let that happen. Pitfall number three, coming up on your forehead instead of the crown of your head. When you're setting up to come to your headstand, tuck your chin to your chest. It'll feel like you're coming too far forward, but it will be correct, right? I'm going to demo. Let's see. Quick demo. I don't know, here-ish. This looks good. Okay, I interlace, I tuck the pinky finger under. I've got a narrow triangle. I'm not out here. Yes, in here, right? I'm going to set it down. See, yeah, that's good. And then I'm going to take my chin to my chest, and I'm taking the top of my head to the floor. Not here, right? Because then when I come up, I've got this crazy angle at my neck. I press my elbows down, shoulders go away from my ears, up come my feet, okay? If I'm near a wall, I can kick up. One foot comes forward, one foot comes back. What? We already did this today, right? Except with our hands down. Exhale, push, one leg comes up, second leg comes up. You will meet, the wall will be back here. You won't be right against the wall, you'll be a little bit away, so you can just find it, right? And here's your headstand. To get down from this, same thing as our handstand prep earlier in the class, one leg at a time. One leg stays, the other leg releases, so you don't plop down. If you need something a little more challenging, walk the feet forward, keep the feet together, push the hips away, and then keep pushing until the feet float up. So you'll notice that my hips got way forward, and that's what made it easy to lift. Same thing when I'm coming down. I want to push my hips backwards so that I can pull my stomach muscles in and resist on the way down, okay? If you need an extra challenge today, let's do our twist, okay? Some of you guys already know this, just an invitation. I think this will be about right. Let's see. So from here, I'm coming up to my headstand, and then I'm going to bring one knee in. So I'll bring my left knee in. I'm going to point it over to the left. I'm going to twist, and I'm going to push extra with my left elbow. And then I'll come back to center, and I'll bring my right knee in, and then I twist over to the left, and I push extra with my right elbow. Really good, you guys. And then come back to center, and then come down in whatever way makes sense for you, either resisting using the core or one leg at a time. So take a minute or two to play with that, and then we're going to have our most well-earned Shavasana. So just a minute more in your inversion. Maybe you're still up against the wall, relaxing, right? There was a sleeping cat back here the entire time. I didn't know. So cute. I might disturb him and just bring him over here in a second. All right. If you come down from your inversion, I invite you to your back. Right? We're just going to come to our backs. And bring the knees into the chest. Okay? And drop your shoulders down, drop your head down, drop your tailbone down. Okay? Now we're going to inhale, take the arms out. On the exhale, we're going to lift our head and then swoop these arms in. Try to grab opposite elbow if you can. If it doesn't work, don't worry about it. Keep in hold of the elbows or wherever. Now drop your head. Now drop your shoulders. Now try to get your tailbone to the floor. Some days I can do it, some days I can't. This is a big hip flexor challenge, believe it or not. And then inhale, take the arms out again. And on the exhale, same thing except for other arm on top, whichever way feels weird, non-dominant. And then drop the head, drop the shoulders, drop the tailbone. And then inhale, lift the head and lift the shoulders, tuck the nose into the knees. Squeeze your hands on the elbows, scrunch up the feet, scrunch up the muscles of the face. For one inhale only, pull the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, release everything out and down for your most well-deserved Savasana. Let the feet just flop open. Let the arms roll open, right? Get a little bit of distance between the arms and the side body, right? And then reach out with each leg. Left leg, left arm, right arm. And then maybe kind of turn your head a little bit to make sure there's no tension in the neck. And then I want you to just mentally scan your body from the top of your head all the way down to the toes and see, is there any tension I'm holding anywhere? Where can I release that so that I can truly relax? And of course, if there's anything you'd like to get for better Savasana, for your best Savasana, like socks or something for your eyes or a white blanket, right? Go ahead and grab those. As most of you know, I give you the opportunity of hearing some of my thoughts about the theme for the week during Savasana. doesn't mean that you have to listen to them, okay? So if you would prefer a silent Savasana, you are welcome to mute me now, or just go ahead and stop the video if that feels good to you. And if not, I am going to share with you some thoughts that I have about relaxing. But to make this even more fun, I'm going to go bother that cat and bring him over here. So relax into your Savasana. I'll be right back. He's very tolerant of me. Okay, so, hi, sweet. I'm going to talk about animals for a second. Here's my visual aid. Animals are really, really good at relaxing, right? And if you watch a dog or a cat when they're ready to rest, they don't keep jumping up and being like, did I turn off the iron, right? They just commit to it. So, hi, beautiful boy. Look for examples, right? If you have a hard time relaxing, sometimes I do. Maybe you don't, right? Maybe you're the kind of person who just lays your weary head down to rest and you are instantly asleep into luxurious and peaceful dreamland, right? If you are not, and I think we all have times when we're not, more or less so. Thank you so much for participating. That was great. Look for examples, right? I find them in animals. I find it really helpful to watch how they just surrender to relaxation, right? Because in general, it's not our body that prevents us from relaxing, right? It's our mind, it's our thoughts. Our body knows what it needs to heal itself, and if given the opportunity, it will do so. So, what prevents us from relaxing mentally? A lot of times, it's this feeling that we're not deserving, right? So, I talk to a lot of people who say, like, well, I have a hard time enjoying whatever the thing is, right? Because I don't feel that I deserve it. So, what are those things? Sometimes people can't enjoy a vacation because they feel like there's too much work left at home that they left undone. Or sometimes people can't enjoy an achievement because they go, well, it's not enough. And tomorrow I need to be doing the next thing and the next step. And there's always more to be done. Of course, there's always more to be done. This is life, right? We can't do yoga 5 times, 5 days in a week, and then not do it for 6 months and think it's going to benefit us in the same way as if we were doing a measured practice spaced out by time, right? You can't brush your teeth 7 times in one day and then not do it for the next 3 days. That's not how it works, right? The same way with how we think. To be vigilant over our thoughts is just as important as brushing our teeth, as spacing out our nutrition, right? We're not going to eat a gigantic meal on Monday and then not eat again until Friday. That's crazy, right? We all know that's crazy, but the same way with our thoughts. Like, a lot of people are like, I'm going to do this seminar one weekend. And then for the next 3 weeks, they're just berating themselves all the time. It doesn't matter if you did a great seminar and you really focused for 2 days, if you're then not practicing that on the daily, right? So my invitation to you to build your relaxation muscle, right? To build that comfort with really just, okay, right? Is to do a little tiny bit every day, right? Just a tiny, tiny bit. So let's take meditation. If someone tells you, it's a time check, if someone tells you you have to meditate for at least 30 minutes a day or it's completely useless, right? Nonsense. Nonsense. Try meditating for 1 minute a day. 1 minute a day. I bet you will find that you will want to meditate for more than 1 minute a day. But just do that. Take a week. I'm going to meditate for 1 minute a day. Next week, you get to meditate for 2 minutes a day. And I choose the word get very specifically. Not have to, not must, not should, but you get to, right? It's these little tiny ways of training our brain to, okay. A lot of people say train the brain to shut down. I don't agree with that. I say train the brain to relax. Just relax, right? It doesn't matter if you're still thinking things, thoughts are happening. Let them come, let them come, let them go, right? We don't have to not think of a pink elephant or not think of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, right? We can let the thing come and just let it go. That's how it works with relaxation. P.S. I'm not perfect at this, far from it. Why do you think I'm so interested in it? Because I've struggled with it, right, from a very young age. I share this with you if it's useful. If you don't need it, no big deal. If you have fully enjoyed your Savasana, I'm going to verbally bring you out of it. If you want more, stay. Okay. So your invitation now, I'm going to keep us on track here. Keep looking at the clock. Your invitation is to start rubbing the thumbs across the pads of the fingers of each hand. And then you'll start to circle the wrists and the ankles slowly. And then when you're ready, keep the eyes shut if you can. Roll over to one side, and guess what? It can be the right or the left side, whichever calls to you. And once you roll over, bring your knees to your chest and give yourself a hug and just thank yourself for having the wonderful presence of mind to have a yoga practice. No matter how frequently or infrequently you're able to engage in it, each time we allow our bodies to move in this way, they thank us. Good job. And then keeping the eyes shut if possible, we're going to come up to a nice comfortable seated position. Take any position that lets the tailbone melt down and the crown of the head lift up to the sky. And then we're going to take palms face up on the knees. And we'll let those open palms symbolize the space we've created during this class. Space for the new and the different and the better. Space for unexpected blessings to drop effortlessly into our outstretched palms. And we accept them with joy and gratitude. Then bringing palms to heart center, tips of the thumbs into the heart, other fingers spread out from there. We let the gentle pressure of our thumbs on heart center remind us of the inexhaustible supply of love and generosity and goodwill that we have to share with all. And knowing that all we put forth will indeed return to us 1,000-fold in the most miraculous and unexpected of ways. So bring the palms to the forehead for clarity of thought, and to the mouth for clarity of speech, and to the heart for clarity of action. I thank you all for sharing your beautiful practices and your beautiful spirits with me today. We end this class, as always, with a phrase which means, that which is sacred in me acknowledges that which is sacred in you. And so we say, Namaste. Thank you so much, my beautiful yogis. Oh, it was so delightful to be here with you today. Always feel free to go back and check for saved episodes of other yoga practices and other few cardio classes and other conditioning classes I offer you during this fascinating time that we're living in, right? I hope that you are feeling joyous wherever you are, and I can't wait to see you again. Bye-bye.